Hello my quilting friends! Leah Day here with a new video of the Machine Quilting Party. Today I'm quilting zigzag lines, a really beautiful, really simple walking foot style design. So let's jump on the machine and see how this works to quilt it together. So I'm filling in with zigzag lines, and this is very simple. It is just straight lines that zigzag, change direction. So anywhere that I want to change direction, I'm just going to stop with the needle in the down position. That locks the quilt in place so it doesn't shift away from the foot. You know, if the needle was up and I did that move, I'd have a pretty good chance of things kind of sliding out from underneath the foot and I wouldn't be in the right spot anymore. So I just keep the needle in the down position and then I rotate it around so that way this edge of the foot continues to be lined up with the edge of the line I previously stitched. And this is one of those things like, you know, how do you get started with it? I started by simply drawing my first zigzag line, and I stitched on that line, and then now every line after that is simply an echo. And one thing that you can do that will really help speed this up and make it easy is to mark yourself lines where those direction changes are. And I'll show you how to do that right now, actually. What I basically did was just took a long ruler and I placed it over the quilt and lined up the ruler so I had a straight line running perpendicular to that direction change from before. Now this can shift a little bit, so this is just kind of a line to eyeball. It's not something that I know is going to be like absolutely perfect. So I'm going to aim for that line, I'm going to hit it, stop and pivot, and if it's right, then I'll keep on stitching. But if I'm a little off, like maybe one stitch over or one stitch under, then I'll readjust. So here's what I mean by that. This line obviously was marked early on. It's very faint now. If I stopped here where that line is marked, you can see just how far off I am. I'm way off over here. So instead, I'll keep on stitching until it feels right. That looks better. And now I'll change direction again. I'm still one stitch short. So one more stitch, now rotate. That looks good. So sometimes you can use the lines, you know, kind of mark where those angles are going to change direction. And then sometimes it'll help just to kind of eyeball it, try it out, stitch down, see if you're close, and then, you know, keep kind of rotating around until you get that exact direction change. And that's kind of the thing that's going to slow you down just a little bit with zigzag lines is the fact that it's not, you know, all the way straight. And you're going to have to stop, shift the quilt, change directions, you know, get back on track. Here I'm using the opposite edge of my walking foot as a guide, and you can see here I undershot. I rotated, and right now I'll be stitching lines too close. So I'm going to shift it back in this direction, kind of line it up again. I'm going to take 2 stitches, and I know my foot pedal really well. This is just speed control, so I can just barely tap my foot pedal, and it'll take 1 stitch at a time. That's a really important skill to build. It's really nice to be able to just hit it a little bit and be able to take a very small controlled stitch. So as you can see, this is a super simple edge-to-edge design. I'm just going to work from one edge of the quilting space over to the other. And it might be helpful to plan it in advance where, you know, you kind of plan out how deep you want those zigzag lines to go. Here I kind of overshot my line, which means I stitched too close together. Let's see if I can back up 1 stitch by rotating my hand wheel backwards and continue stitching. Now, I have noticed when I'm quilting with Minky on the back, it's a little bit less forgiving and I've broken thread. So let's flip it over and double check, and that's actually looking pretty good. So I think I got away with it, but I'm a lot more careful now about backing up stitches because I'm using some fuzzy Minky on the back. You know, there's lots of different ways that you can use these designs, and it really just comes down to stitching it out, getting to know it. It's kind of like building a relationship. You've got to get to know the design and see where you like to quilt it best. And another thing that can change it a lot is how far apart you space your lines. So for a lot of these designs, I'm spacing the lines pretty close, you know, 1/2 inch scale, so I can use the edge of the walking foot as a guide. If you brought the lines further apart, maybe used a guide on your walking foot instead, Well, then that would not only quilt your quilts faster with fewer lines of stitching, it would also change the texture and look of the design as well. So experiment with it, develop a relationship, try stitching these designs out, first on a practice sandwich, then try quilting it on a real quilt. And here's what it looks like whenever I finished zigzag lines. So that's it for this video. I hope you learned a lot quilting zigzag lines into this small square. But if you'd like tips on quilting this design in something bigger, like let's say a whole big giant quilt, you can find lots of information along those lines in the book, Explore Walking Foot Quilting with Leah Day. I share 30 different quilting designs as well as many different techniques for using those designs in real quilts, along with 7 fun quilt projects for you to try out the designs and see how they stitch in something bigger than just a small square. So definitely come and check out the book at leahday.com/walkingfoot. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube so you don't miss the next video coming out soon. Until next time, let's go quilt!